What is the coast fire movement? I saw this definition you see on your screen there. Coast fire is a financial independence strategy where individuals reach a certain level of savings and investments early on in their careers and basically just let those numbers grow. And I remember Charlie Munger's famous quote. He says, "The first 100,000 is a bee, but you got to do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit." So one of the goals I recently saw for this Coast Fire movement is get that 100,000 by age 30. So I want to show you a spreadsheet we set up just to show you how that might have worked out. Again, what we do on this channel is we use the returns for the last 100 years for the S&P 500. We simply project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. And we use those numbers, those returns for the last 100 years. These are the numbers I came up with. Uh, Updating this to show every return for the last 100 years, what you would have after 26 to 35 years. So if you're 30 years old and have, say, for example, can do this for 30 years, just putting that 100,000 in, not adding another dime, you can see the 100,000 going across there. Where would you be in 30 years? And if you look down through here, the worst 30 years scenario in the last 100 years, with this 100,000 being invested using the returns for that 30-year period, worst case scenario, you have 1.147 million. You can see that's 1929 numbers. The median in this column would be 2.171. The best case scenario is 4.755. So again, that's the range that you might see. I color coded this 100% of the time in green. It shows you getting to $1 million. 94% of the time color coded in blue, all these, you'd have 1.5 million. And 62% of the time color coded in gold, you'd have $2 million. That's just getting that 100,000 and let it go for these time periods. I always like to include the impact of inflation. So we go up here, the impact of a 3% inflation rate over these same time periods, what these different values would have after these time periods. Worst case scenario, for example, for a 30-year period, if you had this 1.147, it had a buying power of 472,000. The median you see going across here, the buying power of these amounts down here, you can see right here, 32 years. If you did reach this 100,000 by age 30 and you just let it go for 32 years, you'd have $1 million in buying power if we use the median numbers going across through here. Just imagine if you did one more thing. What if you didn't stop? What if you just contributed a little bit? Watch what happens if we just do $200 a month, how all these numbers are going to hugely change because you're going to allow this $200 a month to accumulate for these time periods. Watch what happens if we do $200 a month. I'm going to go ahead and update this. So instead of $100,000 being invested, for example, the 30-year period did have 172,000 being invested over a 30-year period. And watch what this worst case scenario, 1.147, grows to. Just adding $200 a month, get to the 100,000 by age 30, and it's recalculating for every year. 30-year period, now you're up to 1.721. Worst case scenario, 709,000. Median scenario, again, these are the buying powers after these period, $1 million. Watch what happens now when you color code it. Let's change this real quick. I changed the color coding a little bit just to show you. Again, just getting that 100,000 in the first 30, by the time you're age 30, and by the time 30 years down the road, you would have put in 172,000. And these are the numbers again, but look at the color coding. 30-year period, 92% of the time color coded in green, you'd reach $2 million. 32% color coded in blue, you'd reach $3 million, and 25% of the time you color coded in gold, you'd reach $4 million. You can see if you can do this for a little bit longer period, how many golds you actually see. That's reaching $4 million. If you actually did that for 35 years, you'd reach $4 million 85% of the time gold. 100% of the time blue, you'd reach 3 million. And of course, if you reach 3 million, you'd be reaching 2 million. But I just wanted to show you a little bit about this. What is this coast fire movement? Try to get that 100,000 as early as you can. And we see on this video, in this spreadsheet, if you can do it by age 30 and have these time periods that you can let these numbers grow, look at the kind of numbers you can have. But the key here is try to get that 100,000 as early as you can. And if you can get it by age 30, you've got these time periods for it to grow. But that's what we do on this channel. We love running numbers for people. Um, Please consider subscribing to this channel. I just love to do this together because we're all on this financial journey together. All of us want to end up with a comfortable retirement. And especially don't want to have to work any longer than we have to. The sooner you get that $100,000, the sooner you can possibly retire at these different time periods and have these kind of amounts. Even if you just add a little bit of these time periods, you can see how the kind of numbers you might have. Again, please consider subscribing to this channel. Please like the video. Please share this channel with others and let people know about it. And thanks so much for watching.